Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll actually be sharing a story about my mare, River. You may have seen her in the last video whenever we were moving her into her new stall. River came from a hard past of growing on Paddock Island and just being forgotten about. When I heard about her, I contacted her owners about selling her, but they never contacted me back, so she was a young mare, probably around 4, and her owners just kind of kept her in front of their house or right next to it. I rode by actually one day. I don't remember if I was trail riding or actually if I was in a car. I don't remember. It was quite a while ago. And she was covered in mud and her mane was matted. Her ribs were showing. She had scars all around her body. It was really bad, actually. It was kind of really awful to look at. I ended up calling the Jorvik police, and they ended up taking her to a rehabilitation farm. I was glad she was safe now, but I really didn't think about her much after that. I just knew she was in a safe place, and that was really all I was concerned about. Around the same time, I actually was leasing my horse Emerald, which I have not actually shown him yet. I was learning basic dressage moves with my old trainer. So I was doing my first ever dressage show, and obviously it wasn't very advanced. It was very, very basic in the beginning, but I mean, we did really well. And right after we won, my parents actually surprised me and told me that they bought Emerald for my trainer. And I mean, he's a stallion, but I mean, I was so happy. I love that horse. He's amazing. That same year, actually, he was put in the Horses of Jorvik magazine. Pretty much for his unique coat color and what his breeding, everything else. I mean, he was a beautiful stallion, great genetics. I mean, he just looked fabulous, and he was a fabulous horse with great temperament. I mean, he still is. And my last trainer, actually, she had him up for breeding. And he had probably foaled around 12 horses, 12 foals probably. I mean, he was probably I think it was 7 or 9. Either one of those whenever I first got him. So he was still pretty young to have that many foals, but I mean, it kind of made sense. Jorvik was pretty obsessed with him. Back to my story with River. About a year after she was bought from the rehabilitation farm, I saw their Instagram saying that River was now up for sale. I was so excited to see her again, and she looked great, so I didn't hesitate to buy her. She was probably around 5 or 6, and honestly, she looked so much better. She looked so much healthier, and you could tell she's getting on the right feed, getting exercise, had muscle now. She looked great. Oddly enough, my stallion Emerald actually gets turned out at night, and same whenever this was a couple years ago, same back then, he got turned out at night just because it worked better for him, and he's a longer coat, so it helps him stay cooler. And so whenever I got her, she also got put on the same schedule, obviously in a different paddock. But I actually came back one morning and she was in his paddock. So she had broken out and gone into his paddock overnight, which was a surprise, but we definitely know what that meant. So about a month later, I decided to go bring her to the vet to go see if she was actually pregnant or not. Surprise, she was pregnant. I mean, I was super excited that she was pregnant. I just never raised foals. I've never trained a horse. I mean, I was super new at the time. Obviously, not super new to riding. I've never been around foals. I haven't had any experience in really training or starting a horse. So it was kind of a lot to take in. But not too long after that, I did find a trainer that I was interested in and had in mind for later on in case I wanted to send her to training, which I probably would. About a year later, obviously closer to 11 months, because that's average horse pregnancy, we let River back in the paddock because she still got turned out every night. And I came back the next morning when there was a surprise laying in the paddock. It was a beautiful small flaxen chestnut filly right next to her. Super pretty. I mean, she looked fantastic. I was so proud of River, and especially with her past, she managed to have, I mean, a beautiful, healthy filly, and she was great too. She didn't seem to have anything wrong after the birth. She seemed perfectly fine, and I guess we didn't really realize that she was going to give birth so soon because she didn't really show any signs. Um, I actually, whenever the filly was around 3, I was going to send her to a trainer. So I did contact the trainer a couple years before, and I told her that. I told her about the horse, when I would be sending her, and I really got to know the trainer and her facility and how she trained, just so that she could get her started for me. Because obviously I've never trained a horse, and I was willing to pay the money to keep this horse if she would be trained properly, because, I mean, that's probably what's best for her. So she's still only a couple months old whenever I made that decision. But so a couple of more months passed, and I got her halter trained actually. I decided to wait a little bit just in case we discovered any medical things, but she was great. So I started working on her halter training, which I was pretty certain I could do, and I mean it took a little while, but I got her down. Um, my basic plan was to do manners and ground training with her before she was sent to the trainer, just to get her to have some manners. Obviously, that I've started her slightly. Obviously, she was too young to be ridden before 3, so I was not even gonna consider anything like that. Um, she was actually sent to her trainers around 10 months ago. Um, and just recently, while she was gone, I decided to actually get her registered with Jorvik Wilds of Jorvik Association, which is a horrible name. They need to change that. But I finally got her registered, and her registered name is Juniper's Lucky Eye. Her sire's name, Emerald, his registered name is Emerald's Lucky Eye, so I think it fits her great. Juniper is now a registered Jorvik Wild. Yes, I decided her name was going to be Juniper. I think it just suits her personally. And she actually comes back in a couple of weeks, and I'm super excited. And hopefully, I'll get to start riding her some. I have gone to see her throughout a couple of these months. I've gone to see her about 5 to 6 times while she's been at this trainer's ranch, just so I can go see her progress and making sure that she still perfectly fine, no signs of anything horrible happening. So, I mean, I was glad to see that. I'm not sure if I made it clear, but she was born early 2018 on March 6th. So, pretty soon she'll be 4. And obviously, I'm not going to jump her until she's 4. I want her to finish growing. I don't plan on doing anything but basically flat work and manners with her until she ages up just a little bit more, and then we can start getting onto the small things. I will make a part 2 of this story pretty soon. Sorry if this was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I actually have no idea how long this video is going to be. But, I do get Juniper back in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited to start filming, and I'll be sure to film a part 2 for sure for you guys. And obviously remember, this is not now. She didn't just age up in like a week. No, this is about a story from 2018. So, and up until now. So, honestly, it's going to be a really fun journey with her, and obviously it's going to take time and patience, but I'm super excited. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are just as excited as I am for her return. Let me know if any of y'all are still interested in buying Silver from my Selling Horses video. He's the only one still for sale. I have personally decided to keep Pine, and I'll explain that in the next video a little bit. And Lucky was sold, so yeah, only Silver's left. He's a little gray pony. He would love a home, and I'm sure one of you guys would love to take him.